I promised to go over these questions and answers a little bit to try to help, so I'm going to go ahead and follow through on that promise. Question number 1, do you use different passwords for every service? Of course I do. Everybody should. I bet 99% don't. I bet some people would even click yes here when they don't. The password generation and maintenance programs like RoboForm that I spoke of in another post do this for you. Generate the passwords, very unique. Do it easily for every new account you sign up on. You can even use it to generate unique user IDs when sites let you, making you really, really unfriendly to be hacked, because it's going to take much longer to get to your information. Therefore, they move on from you to easier prey. But you guys do what you like. So the answer to this one is always yes. Never use the same password blanketly across your accounts. Do you keep your phone's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth turned on? This one's a little, in my opinion, not a good question for this questionnaire, because of course I keep my Bluetooth on when I'm using my earbud, headset or whatever when I'm moving. And Android phones get some of their GPS positioning information via Wi-Fi as you move from cell to cell, traveling and stuff. So I did check myself Wi-Fi only, and that's where I missed 1 out of 11 questions, because it was the truth. But also, if you look at the apps on my phone, I don't have a single one related to bank accounts, payments, any information, social security numbers, nothing on my phone or iPad. All that stays on my main computer at home behind a firewall. Also, my Lookout antivirus software for Androids keeps it a little safer, so I had to check Bluetooth only. So they knocked me down one on that. True answer should be no, but I don't agree with them on this one. Even both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi need to be on from time to time. But yeah, this is why I missed. When I'm at home, I do turn the Wi-Fi off, even though it's using my wireless router in the house behind the software firewall and a hardware firewall. I frequently do keep my Bluetooth on. My phone needs to stay near the basement door because service in the basement, the signal is low, and my Bluetooth headset is usually near me. When the phone rings, I stick it in. When I turn it on, it comes up, connects, and answers the phone. So I don't quite agree with them on this one, but they're right. They can get in. So their answer for this one is no. Do you use two-factor authentication when offered? Why, sure. And even more, secret questions. If they offer secret questions, I'll add that third layer. So I answered yes. I dare say several people would have answered, what is that? Ignorance of the hackers' ways of getting in is what they rely on. You got to buck up and learn a few things about the tools you use. You just don't go out and start using dynamite on your own without a care or a whim to learn anything about it. People love to say, I don't know anything about computers, as if they're proud of it. That won't work. Well, it will work for you, I guess, but it won't work overall. So basically, use as much authentication as you can. That gives layer upon layer upon layer, which they have to hack through to get to the information. Again, you slow them down enough, they go on to easier prey. Did you keep the default password on your home Wi-Fi? You know, Netgear default is no user ID with a password of admin, ADMIN. Everybody on the face of the planet knows that. So many people put in the wireless routers, etc. in their house. They don't do anything about security, and they're set up insecure as they come. Again, every single one of them is set with no user ID and ADMIN as a password. So again, you have to make it harder for the hackers. Do you use the latest version of the web browser? I scream at people all the time about updates. One of my posts today was a needed update that came out today for Java. Not a single person looked at it. Not a single person commented on it. I know most of that is because I'm a little bit radical with my debates in cyberspace, because cyberspace is fun for that. There's things I do on cyberspace that I just don't do in public. Cyberspace is where you kind of let it all hang out for fun. When it gets to the point of making people mad or sending back mad responses, which we call flaming, that's time to back off. You've gone over the line. I know that. When people flame me over a post, I most usually back off and let everything settle down. But some people can't even take a little dissidence and debate in cyberspace. Those people you better stay away from with any kind of controversy or anything in real life. And I do. Those who really know me know I don't speak about sex, religion, or politics outside of cyberspace, and I might be even overboard talking about it within cyberspace. So, do you use the latest version of your web browser? Always. Anytime there's an update, there's only two things to do. Number one, check to make sure the update notification is coming from the real site. This morning when Java needed updating, I didn't follow the link. I went to oracle.com, who makes Java, and saw on their download page a place to click and check And I even, instead of posting the Java update for you guys, I posted the link to that site on oracle.com that even checks to see if you've got old versions present. Not a single person really read it that I see. No comments, no shares. So, yes, with the caveat that make sure that the updates are coming from the real people. Computer programs, phone says, app update is available. How soon should you update? This one's a no-brainer. With a caveat again that they don't mention on this page of look at the source of the update notification. So you do them immediately. They are usually security fixes for hackers more so than corrections to problems in the program. So the answer to this one is immediately. Again, with my caveat of know your source. Do you connect to public Wi-Fi? This one's a little bit subjective too, in my humble opinion. Sometimes I do connect to public Wi-Fi with my Android because I know that I have no personal information on my phone, because I know that it is insecure on my phone. I can wait till I get home where my information is better protected. But their answer here would be no. By the way, there is a hack where you go into a place. I had it happen to me at Disney World, where someone had come into one of the rooms, quickly cloned the wireless pages of Walt Disney World's Wi-Fi, set up their wireless router in the room, and because their signal is stronger than Disney's, you can connect to the wireless in the next room accidentally, and then you start transferring bank account stuff and such through what you think is really Disney's wireless. You either get a virus or they get your information. In general, don't use Wi-Fi outside of your home unless you have a device that has no information on it and there's nothing they can get. I have my old Droid X. Frequently I take it along. There is nothing on it. It's been wiped. Can't even use it as a phone anymore. But I can use it to connect to public Wi-Fi and go into pages, not Facebook, because I'm not going to put my user ID and password through that possibly fake Wi-Fi. But I can go surf where is local restaurants located, other things where no personal information or passwords are required. If I need to check my bank balance, I call my bank on a landline and go through their automated system. So this one sort of has a caveat too. Do you use HTTPS to connect to every website? I bet 99 out of 100 do not even know what HTTPS is. The answer here is yes, of course. hypertext transfer protocol. That's what http://www.waltdisneyworld.com is. Hypertext is the text that, like this, that is hyper. When you click on it, it does something. In other words, it causes a function. So you got this hypertext here that transfers your click into going to another website instead of having to type in, oh, I want to go here now. The hypertext allows for clickable links. Transfer protocol. The S is secure. If you're in, and see, I'm not even using it right now. If you look right up here, I'm only using HTTP. We'll look at that in a second. And there probably is not the ability to connect to this site with https://money.cnn.com. Possibly. We'll look at that in a second. So, the answer to this thereafter is yes. I don't understand how some of you could even know what HTTPS was, but I promised this video. You receive a stranger's email with attachments. What kind of files are safe to open? As long as they're images, they're cool, right? No. Viruses can be embedded in images. Programs can be embedded in images. You don't see it, but the code's there. The code's functioning. It's all just a bunch of ones and zeros, numbers, streaming through the world. You can paint half the picture on the screen, and then the code comes in for stealing your password, and then it paints the other half of the picture as the code streams in. None of the above is true. Even Pam at work and I know that we put something in our subject line when we get an email from each other's address that we know that kind of indicates that this is coming from me. If it's coming from Pam's email address with a generic subject line, I'm wary of it. If something from my webmaster@wnc.com comes into her email address with a subject line like, woohoo, save millions on your car insurance, she pretty much knows it's not from me, and she doesn't even do anything but click delete. So none of the above is the correct answer here. Do you use an antivirus program? I've spoken many times. You have to. Here's Microsoft Security Essentials. The free one from Microsoft. They seem to do a better job now of keeping up with virus definitions, and so far it's caught every virus except for one that I've gotten in the last 3 or 4 years. No program can be completely safe because we use tags out of the virus program to search for. In other words, when a virus program is identified, it will have a few lines. We pick a few lines of the code that are unique to that particular program. We use that as identifier of that virus, and we store it in the database. That's why the database on your computer needs to be updated as often as possible, so that those new spyware definitions, virus definitions, are in your computer. But the truth of the matter is the same thing with safe surfing programs for kids. If somebody releases a virus, it's 12:41 right now. If somebody releases a virus at 12:45 tonight, between the time they release it and the time that somebody figures out that it was a virus, and then Microsoft or others identify it as a virus and find a segment to use as a definition, everybody, including me, is going to get it. So, you got to practice safe sex, you got to practice safe surfing. Exactly the same thing. Use protection. I use a Lookout on my phone, and I forget which one I use on my iPad. If you don't have antivirus on your cell phone, you might as well just write down your information and email it to the hackers. I've told people time and time again that. Now, if somebody's on the ball and they release a new virus at 12:45 and it's identified by 2 a.m., let's say, which would be a miracle perhaps, they might put out the spyware definitions, virus definitions for that particular virus at 3 a.m. today. That gives a window of 2 hours and 15 minutes for anybody on the face of the planet to be gotten, including myself. You can only do the best you can. As an aside here, I will tell you, when you do an update, go ahead and do a quick scan. It will scan the major areas of your computer with the brand new virus definitions and spyware definitions you have just downloaded, and it really doesn't take long to do. I have gigabyte upon terabyte of information, and it still takes only a short period of time. There you go. It took less than 2 minutes. Trying to help people. Yes, you need to use antivirus program on your computer, on your notebook, on your cell phone, on your iPad, anything that attaches to the internet in any shape, form, or fashion. You visit a website, a pop-up says something like, this site's security certificate is invalid. Do you proceed anyway? If I really want to get to the information, I do. This one's pretty much, again, a no-brainer. But, we do what we can. So, you wouldn't want to click yes here. Matter of fact, I actually use the pop-up blocker within Internet Explorer, so I don't even see the pop-ups. But should one get past, which some of them are valid and they are let pass pop-up blockers, if this comes up and says anything about anything on the site being invalid, that means run away. So there's the correct answers to 11 out of 11, with the caveats of the one I missed, because I do use my Bluetooth earbud a lot, especially when I'm driving. So everything must be taken with a grain of salt. Now let's see real quick if we could have gone into HTTPS. Oops. Home. HTTP. S:// would that have worked? I'm working on it. And it will work longer to establish a secure session if a secure session is available. And you see, there is not a secure session available for this money.cnn.com quizzes. So you can't always connect with a secure socket layer, is what we're doing there. Forget I said socket layer. With security, it's up to the web pages to offer secure connections. So you can see some of those. I'll go back and take it off, jump to the end, hit enter again, and boom, it comes up. If the web page doesn't offer security, putting the security on your side is not going to hack it. If you don't know the correct answer to any of these questions, you need to get with somebody who does and pay them. You can either pay them or you can wait and really pay when your account information, your identity is stolen and they empty your bank account of a few $1,000s because you wanted to save 60 or so. Not trying to be mean, but I am being realistic. And here we're back to this one. Do you keep your phone's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth turned on? Pretty much my Bluetooth is turned on. And they don't like that. But again, with the caveat that I know that my phone with the Bluetooth has no personal information on it. So this is why I scored. I didn't lie about this one on the test. And I knew what answer they wanted. I knew. Oh, come on, refresh. Fine. Piece of junk. I knew they wanted this answer. But I didn't lie. I actually said here what I do. And I've told you in the previous run through this question, sometimes I have them both on. Knowledge is power. I promised I would make this video. At least one person said she would like to see it. I keep my promises. That's about all I have to say about this. Y'all have a good one.